This week, we meet a very dirty driver in Race A. We decide to get squashed in Race B. And Race C is one of the worst in history as we head to the realms. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide. It's week 21 here in 2022, really. And we are at the Red Bull Ring short circuit in Volkswagen Golf GTIs. Now, before I get into this, I just want to apologize for last week's video. Some of you had a buzz. I couldn't hear it. It took me a lot of work to even try and get a buzz to appear. So apologies for that. Hopefully it's nice and clear for you now. I think I've solved it. You will be able to tell me in the comments. Right, let's jump into those race details then. What are we doing here at the Red Bull Ring? We're racing 8 laps here at the Red Bull Ring short circuit. It's a grid start. I mean, on sports hard tyres, you will need traction control in this Volkswagen Golf. It likes to spin its wheels. There's also some timestamps there in the background. If there's a particular part of this video you want to check out, there's a lot of crazy, weird stuff this week. Let's jump to the race then and let's have a look exactly what happened because there is carnage in this race. Here we are then at the start. Flash away, folks. Flash away. We are, of course, all in Golfs. And I'm in a rented car at the moment. I will start buying these cars and start using TCR liveries soon once I have some money. Traction control on one. Off we go. And even there, we get wheel spin. Look at that, folks. My word. And it's status quo because everybody's literally doing the same thing as we head towards turn 1. Be careful here, turn 1. There's going to be a lot of crashes. However, weirdly, this race, it wasn't too bad. We just had the yellow car up ahead go a little bit crazy, but we'll talk about that car later on. And we do get a good run here on the P11 and P10. That gap closes, unfortunately, so we have to pull out of it and fall behind the Swiss drivers to still at the back of the pack as we go into this right-hander. Dav goes a little bit deep there. We know Dav is a clean racer, though. Just a small mistake there as we continue on racing through. Now we short shift to 4th gear. I will explain this in the lap guide as we continue on through out that corner, and we're still at the back of the pack, and it all seems fairly calm in the grand scheme of it, which is very unusual for a daily race A and when the cars are like this, because trust me, the cars are dreadful. As we head in towards this right-hander, you can see the cars rolling and moving about. It causes chaos. Absolute chaos with this car as we then get towards the last corner. So we're just going to try and get on the inside of the Swiss driver. Not going to quite work out. Still in P12. Unusual for us to still be in P12, but here we are. P12 still racing along here. Let's see what we can do because we do want to start moving up this grid. That is for sure. Oh, heading towards turn 1. Again, not really the best place to make a move. You want to really back out of it and try and get the run out of the corner. So that's what I was trying here. And look at the run we get then on the Swiss driver. So we're going to get down the inside then as we head towards this right-hander. Once again, Dav getting a penalty. Somebody else getting a penalty. Penalties galore here in race A. And we do get it stopped here beautifully then. Slight tap there, nothing major as we then go into the left. Dav gets it all sorts of wrong there with the line, and we're going to get on the inside of Dav to sort of like a Moses maneuver there. 2 for 1 down the middle essentially, and we get that position. G40 Mario there with a penalty. Hey, nearly loses it while taking the penalty. That's no good as we pass them to get P9 then in towards the right hander we go. Tight here, lots of positions still to make. Oh, Belzer's off. Belzer's off to the realms there and leads. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful awareness there from Belzer. Let's assess Spuddy. Not sure. Get down the inside because they were or did have the run there. Belzer gets that half-second penalty then to head towards turn 1. Look in that rear view mirror. That's where you want to look next, folks, because as we break for this corner, we're going to have 2 cars come very quickly here. So I'm sort of trying to take avoiding action here. I do that. I then come back on circuit before even the end of the curb, and we're going to get a penalty for taking that avoiding action. What an award that is. We cause clean racing, and that happens. Now we got pushed slightly into Belzer there, and then G40 Mario decides we don't exist. In fact, decides everybody doesn't exist because they are a moron. They are a moron, ladies and gentlemen, as you will see. So, 2-second penalty, 1-second penalty. We're on half a second penalty. I think Dav has got a big one there as well, it looks like. So, lots of penalties. They in fact had the same there, so 2 seconds apiece as we then go into this right-hander. Oh, look at the oversteer there. We get that's all sorts of wrong. G40 Mario down the inside. This is where you do as what Belzer did as well. You back out of this completely. Don't go side by side into that last corner because you will end up off and getting another penalty. Now, look at the damage on that car. My word, the right rear of that car ruined. It needs a new paint job, that is for sure. So we're going to head towards turn 1. Again, not the best place to overtake. You can't really dive down there because you'll just crash. So we did back out of it. Mario goes deep here. Now, I did think, I was like, okay, he's got a penalty. I can get past nice and easy now. I don't have to worry about this driver. But no penalty. No penalty at all. They do go very deep here, and I'm just going to keep it tight. And there we go. We actually dropped well below the 50 miles an hour, which is the apex speed. I don't know where they wanted me to go there in the second half of that. But we leave them lots of space on the left-hand side. But they decide they want to punt me because they are a moron. And they actually caused Apocalypto to go into me as well. So G40 Mario, if you watch this, you are a moron. You have no idea how to drive. It's not very good at all. And you're just not helping yourself. The whole point is you want to race clean and fair and have a good race in this game. Not go out there and just punt people, because it's just not very good and you just look silly. Anyway, we're going to come through this last corner then with an absolute rocket ship of a run on the Swiss driver, who is about to get a 1.5 second penalty. There you go, 1.5 second penalty. It's like I can predict. It's like I did the race. As we then go by heading towards turn 1. We had such a run here. We had to go for this move then. And they get it stopped as well beautifully. Down the inside we've gone. And we make that move stick finally, not in last place. So we're going to advance towards lap 7. And this is my fastest lap of the race. So head towards left-hand side, turn 1, 100-meter board. It's our normal brake marker at the Red Bull Ring. That turn 1, 100-meter board, nice and easy. Let's get it stopped. Now, I'm using a lot more of the track here to avoid rolling the car too much with the weight transfer. Third gear through the corner, accelerate out. Avoid going too wide there. You do not want a penalty as we then head towards this right-hander. Now, on the cliff, left-hand side, you can see there the brown cliff color look. At the end of that is when you're going to want to start braking. Now, you don't really want to brake 100%. You want to sort of brake like quite high, but you see how I'm just trail braking into the corner? It stops the weight shifting like crazy through this corner. Now, 50 miles an hour is your apex speed. And then you want, as you turn left here, you then want to short shift to 4th and keep that momentum in the car. The weight is already on the right rear tire. If you shift and keep the throttle in, you should be fine and make the corner absolutely not a problem. So we're going to head towards the penultimate corner then. On the left-hand side, we have some marshals. Our very famous marshal friends, Bill and Brian there. Use them as your brake marker. It's just before, actually. And again, you want to brake hard initially and roll off the brakes before you start turning. Otherwise, the weight's going to shift all over the place. So just be careful of that as we go into here. Then we clip that curb and we accelerate out then towards the last corner. On the left-hand side, we have the Austrian flag. Just before the end of that Austrian flag, use this as your marker. You're going to brake and you're going to stay in 4th gear for this one. You don't want to drop to 3rd because that'll cause the weight to shift again in a very weird way and have a pendulum effect. And you don't want that at all. So we advance towards the last lap where nothing really changes. We catch up to Belzer, but we needed another lap or two to really get in the action. This race is one I would avoid because the cars are just too crazy to race with. So yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. That's it for race A, and let's head to race B. Welcome to Monza then. We are in Italy, mamma mia. Spaghetti and pizza. No, okay, we'll stop doing that. Yes, we are in Italy. We are at Monza and we are in Group 3 machinery. Let's jump to those all-important race details. We're racing 5 laps here at Monza. It's a rolling start, but no need to worry. And we are on the racing hard tyre. So, Group 3 at the moment seems to be being dominated by the Beetle. However, the Subaru is a little bit quicker and still a very good car. So, I chose the Subaru this time. Let's jump to the race then because we have a very good little race with a fair few cars in this one. Here we are then at the start. There we have it. Beetles and Subaru WRXs. We do have a couple of Ford GTs in there as well. But trust me, you want a Subaru WRX. It's quite good at the moment. Of course, we may get a bop change this week. We don't know, but there is an update this week, so do keep an eye out for that. And the start finish straight. Here you are. We're starting near the back, but we're all on it, so it's all happy days. Right, we begin with the R4M driver going all over the place up ahead as we head towards turn 1. The first time of 5 here at Monza in Italy. Mamma mia. So, heading towards the braking zone then. Just be careful into this braking zone. Brake where you would brake on a normal lap as Horn Dog goes down the inside of Wilksy here. A little bit of contact here, there, and everywhere. As we look to try and go down the middle. Again, we're going to have to back out of this completely. Just squashed together here. So we do not gain any positions. Shout out to Horn Dog. Horn Dog said hello in the lobby. So shout out to you in the Kinder Beetle machine as we leave the Curva Grande and head towards this chicane. Then in towards the braking zone we go. We brake extremely late here. Down the inside, we get the job done just so we clip the curb on the inside and accelerate out. We're going to have a bit of a race here with the finish driver here. Such speed, wow! Part of R4M as we go in. Wiltsy goes to the realms in the Red Bull machine, and still side by side here with the Finnish driver. Now, if you're side by side and you're not the lead car into this right-hander, I'd recommend avoid. Whoa, we got Spinner Rooney! We have a spinner, Sergeant Grosser, and Stevie having contact, I suspect. But yeah, if you go side by side into Lesmo 2, it's not the greatest. So if you're not the lead car, just back out of it and fight another day down towards the Scari. Now, this is a corner I don't normally like fighting at. You've seen this before in the past. However, we get a run here, and we're going to go round the outside into a Scari here with such speed. Wow, and we get that job done. And now we're behind Dav Wall as we go through the left-hander. And let's have a look. Oh, we got penalty line. Okay, never mind. We'll take that position. Happy days. Job done. Up into P7. 6 positions, 1 lap. That's what we normally do. As we advance here to SBC and Dav fighting. Dav making a reappearance here in the Ford GT LM car. Now, SBC here looking down the inside of the Ford GT here. Releases the brakes a little bit, but does get it stopped there beautifully. Good side-by-side action between these guys. Brilliant stuff here. Spaniard going for that little cut. Oh, beautiful move there from the Spaniard. Absolutely brilliant stuff there as they get P5. And we take the cursed position there of P6. As we continue. Oh, okay. We nearly went off there. We just survived that one. Sorry, Dav. Slowing you down there in towards Lesmo 2 and job done. So, what, 6 temps off here, the Spaniard. We catch up here through Ascari. Get a nice... Whoa, somebody's off there. That was number 4 GT. Gone to the realms. So, maybe don't use that one. So, up into P5. And what we want to do here is actually bumper draft the Twix machine because we want to overtake on the start-finish straight, not here. Otherwise, we'll be fighting for position in towards turn 1. So, in we go. And we're just getting a little bit of dirty hair. Not hair. Dirty air here as we leave the last corner there. The parabolic. I forgot what the name was there. I want to say placebo for some reason. No idea why. As we head towards turn 1, we're going to do a lap guide at the same time here, but we get a big run on the Beetle. Look at this now. The slipstream coming into real play here. Head towards turn 1. What you're looking for here is the 150-meter board. So brake just after that in the WRX, and you will make the corner absolutely not a problem. And there we go. Okay, so I just paused there. I was going to say something, but let's not. We cut the inside just there. We want to get around here. A little bit of understeer there on the left just because of the title line on the first part of the entry. Be careful on the exit of oversteer. The wheels do indeed spin here at Monza, leaving that first chicane. So this is flat out. Of course it is. It always is. Unless you're in a 400-mile-an-hour Tomahawk, then maybe it's not. I don't know. So heading towards the second chicane here. On the right side, just after the 150-meter board, there's an orange painted barrier, which is very hard to see here. But it is the end of the barrier you're looking for. It's after the 150-meter board. Look for that, and you're going to brake. Now, this one, more about penalties. So be careful about cutting here. We cut a little bit here. And try not to cut too much of the right-hander. Do not use the sausage like I did there. Just avoid it, and you should be fine. So we're going to head towards the first of the Lesmos. 50-meter board on the left-hand side is your brake marker here. Literally, you're just going to dab a brake. You're going to turn in and just bounce the car through the corner. And make sure you don't run too wide like I did on the previous lap. So you can see here, just bouncing the car a little bit and through we go. Absolutely not a problem. Now, as we head towards Lesmo 2, you can use the tree on the right-hand side. This time, I've just marked the 50-meter board. It's just a bit easier to see on the left. If it gets wiped out, use the trees on the right. But use that. Brake just before the 50-meter board. You don't want to brake too late here because you want to carry the speed through the corner and have a better exit because it's all about this straight here in terms of time. Going fast into Lesmo 2 is not worthwhile. Leaving Lesmo 2 fast, very worthwhile. As you see here, heading towards Ascari. So our eyes are going to be drawn towards the right-hand side where we're looking for that orange painted barrier. There. Really good brake mark here. You can brake just after this, in fact. And you're going to do 4th gear throughout the entirety of Ascari in the WRX. I dropped 3rd gear here, but it's definitely a 4th gear corner. Click the left, and then you see the short shift here. You want to use those bumps a little bit on the right as we slightly lift there for the final left, and we continue on through. We're going to head towards the Parabolica now. Nice and easy. You can have a bit of a rest here on this back straight. So we've got the meter boards on the left, 200, 150, 100, and you're braking after the 100. It's around the 80 meter mark, actually. So it's quite a little bit after, but you're going to be braking, and you're going to want to keep the car quite tight here as you go in. As you see this, we're waiting. We're waiting for that moment here where it's orange painted barrier or the lights to accelerate. As you see that, it start to accelerate here. You might want to be in 4th gear because then the car's not going like quite high in terms of the front end, and it will allow you to get less understeer through the corner as we continue on then towards the final lap where we catch up to Twister. We did have a penalty actually on lap 4 for those wondering. That was for cutting turn 1. But here we go. So Twister was moving all over the place here. So we ended up bumper drafting. Unfortunately, they then get the braking wrong. So we are going to take that anyway. But one thing I would recommend here, do not do reactionary moves. If you go left, go left. If you go right, go right. Don't then start going left and right, left and right, left and right, depending on what the other driver's going to do. Because that's just silly. Because that's what ends up happening. And it's really not good driving in the slightest. So that's what happened there. But we do come in P3 in the end. Happy days with that. A podium finish here. And the leading WRX car. But as I say, I think that is the car to go to over the Beetle. That's it for race B. Let's head to one god-awful race C. Welcome then to Autopolis, which, as you know, is not one of my favorite tracks. And we are in Super Formula! So you've got the Honda and the Toyota to choose from. Expect lots of Formula 1 liveries this week on those Super Formula cars. Let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 12 laps here at Autopolis. It's a grid start with the full start check. Oh, trust me, that causes carnage in itself. And we're on the racing soft tyres with no strategy at all. Like, what were you thinking, Gran Turismo? We need strategy for race C, and this is even worse because the dirty air is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. It's horrible to race this. This is one of the worst daily Cs I've ever experienced, ever in the history of Gran Turismo. Even so, let me jump to the race, and I'll show you exactly what happens because, as well as dirty air, the car is a little bit twitchy. Here we are at the start. Flat. Oh, yeah. No flashing here. No flashing at all. Now, Shelty was originally in this lobby. Unfortunately, he got booted, which is a bit frustrating. Oh, I assume he got booted anyway. Traction control on 1 as we prepare to head off. Someone gets a jump start, so I instantly go left there. Be careful of that. Somebody doesn't move. Absolute carnage on the grid here as we go from P13 to P7 in the blink of an eye. I think we were P13 anyway as we head towards turn 1 then. Be careful of that break-in into turn 1. We got a plus 5 to the Swede there. The Swedish driver with plus 5 on the penalty as we then head into this complex of corners. We try around the outside here. I was expecting to get punted, but no, we survive. Up into P6 we go then as we go through the left-hander. Oh, we got somebody to our right here in towards the braking zone. They absolutely fly into the yellow Swede car there, and we actually go in the middle and we get that position as well up into P5. Jobs are good, and as we then go into the left. So we've had an absolutely blistering start here, folks. Absolutely blistering. So at this moment, I was like, oh, I can win this race. Happy days. Trust me. Chaos is about to ensue as we see P3 there, plus 4-second penalty. So we're going to get another position here and already be very close to a podium. Down towards this right-hander. In fact, we advance a bit further on here because we've been stuck behind Rowdy Burns for a lap now, and it's really, really, really hard to race these cars in this dirty air. The dirty air is way too over-exaggerated. You just can't get close. It's so hard to get close. As we then head into this right-hander, I'm trying to just find any line that works where I don't have dirty air. As we come through here, you can see it just happening there. As we then go into the left, I just go a bit too far over the curb, and we get thrown to the realms. Yes, we meet Barry R once again. So I'm coming on the track here. I'm trying to be very careful on my return to circuit here. So you can see that I'm just coming on. There's a yellow flag out there anyway, so people should know that. And we get back on circuit with dirty tyres as well. The nice thing is I didn't get a penalty because usually you get a penalty for hitting the barrier. But not this time. It was just a kiss. As we then go through that left. And we advance further on then. So what can we do here? So there's a couple of cars up ahead. Oh, hey, a penalty. Actually, we'll have that. Thank you very much. Up into P10 once again. And you see on that track map, by the way, everybody is everywhere. As we get it all sorts of wrong. That's the dirty air coming into effect because you really can't do what you normally do on a lap here when that dirty air exists. So we've got the Austrian. Oh, where are they going? Oh, hello. Goodbye. Phil, take that. Thank you very much. Hey, that was a nice little position gain, wasn't it? So in towards the right-hander we go, and we're just slowing the car down. So we do have Tomacek up ahead that we do need to catch up to and start racing. We advance to a lap later then. In towards the right we go. And again, we're just stuck in this dirty air. So 128 versus 125 for the leader. And trust me, I can get in the 25s. I just can't get there at the moment because of the dirty air. We're having to just take weird lines. And we're getting such bad understeer in some corners. It is horrendous as we come through here. You have to be like a lot quicker than the car ahead. Otherwise, you ain't overtaken. So this week, this is going to be a single file race with no strategy at all. The only thing you can do is hope for mistakes and hope that they get a penalty. Because when it's all said and done and everyone's used to this combo, you're just going to be in a straight line because you can't get close. The dirty air is so bad that a car, you can be 2 seconds quicker than the car ahead and you will still struggle to pass them. 2 seconds. because it's all about the corners. Autopolis is horrendous for this. So here we go. We've got a bit of a run there. Had to back out of that because there'd have been contact there with the Spanish driver. In towards the right-hander we go. Again, we're just looking for any mistake at all. So we got on the inside just there. They gave us room as well. Perfect stuff from the Spaniard. And we're going to try and go around the outside. Oh, my word. I forgot about this one. We go around the outside of the Spaniard. Oh, that was so good. Such a good move. But you can see there, when there's no dirty air, you can do anything as we get a yellow flag up ahead. And we're still behind Tomacek here. We're still behind them as, who's that? We've got another Spaniard off there. DJ Tommy, they had the 4-second penalty earlier. As we then get it stopped then for this right-hander. So up into P7. Good stuff. And let's see. So we're stuck in the 28s to 27s here. We advance further ahead then. We've got Tomacek up ahead. I've been trying to get closer and closer and closer as we then head into this right-hander. And you can see here, I'm just taking a slightly different line. I just have enough of non-dirty air there because Tomacek went too wide to get a little bit closer. So we do have a run this time on the driver up ahead then. You can see we're getting closer, 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 closer. They don't go defensive. In towards turn one we go. I try and outbrake them here. I have to slow the car down a lot here. They just hit my rear end there. That's not their fault, really. I was just slowing down on the apex, or trying to slow down on the apex at least. And they don't get a penalty, so we're fine. As we see, Rowdy burns off there. And you can see our lap times instantly dropped. Instantly dropped 2 seconds from not being in dirty air. And look at the gap we pulled on Tomacek as well. It's mind-boggling. So we're going to head towards turn one, folks, in terms of a lap guide here. The left-hand side, the end of the stadium, you can use when you're on time trial lap. I was using the car in the race, the gold or brownish car on the right in the race, because that was helpful as well. But use either of those brake markers. Third gear, through the corner you go. Accelerate very quickly here. The car has so much downforce. You have grip for days and days and days. Head towards the next turn then, and you're going to brake at the 50-meter board. That's how late we brake here in this car. It has so much grip, it's ridiculous. And obviously the faster you go, the more grip you get. It's like a constant loop here. As we go through here then, we're going to get that stop. Third gear. So bounce the car all the way through here, all the way through, and you want to straight line the braking here. By the way, the end of the curb on the right is perfect. I know we used to use white van man, but they're not there in time trial, so we're sacking them, unfortunately. But use the end of the curb there, and you can see we straight line brake it to stop the car efficiently and effectively. So through we go. Leave that corner. We're going to head towards the right-hand side. Now, this corner, you don't have to brake for at all. It's a slight lift, a change to fifth, and then accelerate through the corner. That is it. And I'm pretty sure in time trial you can do that flat if you get it absolutely spot on. So head towards the hairpin then. The 50-meter board is your brake marker on the right-hand side. Use that very nicely. Again, you're braking very late here. Second gear corner, and you can get this stopped, turned, and just point it out the corner. Be careful of a little bit of oversteer on exit. You will experience that a little bit, but it should start to grip fairly quickly. Now, you're going to see me brake for this corner, but you don't have to brake. You can just lift for this corner as you go into it and accelerate through. Now, this is where the marker is. So you want to drop to fourth gear here and just let the car roll through the corner. Don't brake. Just let the car roll through the corner in fourth gear. You will be fine, which is why it looked so odd earlier on in the race when I had dirty air, because this is what you actually do. And look at that. You just nail it perfectly. You're then going to go towards the left. Avoid going over that curb too much. You saw what happened there. And in towards this right, just before that curb starts on the right-hand side, is when you're going to brake third gear now. Stay in third gear for this complex of corners, and you will survive it no problemo. As we go out to then come back in here, we're going to clip the curb on the right-hand side. Accelerate through. You're going to do a slight lift here. Fourth gear through the corner. You probably can do it flat as well if you get it right. And now this final marker, I've already started turning, and then I'm just going to dab the brake a little bit. I want the car to just slow itself down rather than me force the brakes on really hard here. You can see I've lifted. I'm just dabbing the brakes here, slowing the car down a little bit. Now, when I see that orange painted barrier there in the distance, it's even earlier, because normally we use the tarmac on the right side. When I see that, I'm going to accelerate. You can see I'm in fourth gear here, and I can just accelerate through the corner, and the car will just grip. It will grip, unless you've got dirty air, and then it won't grip. So what we're going to do is we're going to advance a bit later on then, and we are in P5 here, so in towards the right-hander we go. Final lap here, and the car just loses the rear end. The car lost the rear end by itself. I don't know whether clipping the curb slightly caused the issue. We got that much of a gap to Tomacek, by the way, because we were so much faster. We come out this absolutely fine. We just stay on the inside here. We don't do anything, and that we're still ghosted, I suspect. But they do get that move done, so we're going to drop down to the cursed position. But yeah, at the end of the race, the car seems a bit weird, and it just oversteers. Now, you're about to see that again in a second, because Tomacek goes through his corner, and the same thing happens to Tomacek, and they go flying. So we're back into P5, slight bump from the rear. As we then head into this right-hander, and we're going to accelerate through the corner and finish in P5. So yeah, be careful at the end of the race. I have no idea why that happens. You see we've got 25 there, and that's the big difference. Dirty air versus non-dirty air. The time is huge. It's balmy, and there's just going to be gaps everywhere, and you can see that on the leaderboard right there. That's going to be it for this week, folks. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If I'm brutally honest, there's no race I really like. Race B is your only bet to have a good race, and yeah, It's just not good. It really isn't good. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. 2 videos there to check out, including how I became an AI player. Maybe go play the computer this week on some of the races that are available and race me there instead. But that is going to be it for me, folks. Please do leave a like on the way out. And as I say, subscribe to stay in touch with all the latest content.